All right, this is Tita Inday. We're live on StreamYard so on Facebook. We've been talking about how or what are the reasons why women fall into that trap of being the kabit or the second woman, and why women continue to be in a messy relationship despite reasons like they will always feel like they're a secret. They can't have dinner or grab a drink or see a movie together with the man that they love whenever they like. And then they have no one to take vacations with. They are still alone during Christmas or special seasons because the man has to be with his wife or with his kids. And of course, that means you will never be a priority. He may send you flowers or gifts or cakes or anything that will make you feel special on your special day. That's just because the wife doesn't know it. But that doesn't mean that that's enough. I mean, would you consider those malaya ra nga bulak, no? Tawag na, malaya. Mag-wither lang na flowers for a very, very, no? Compare nimo sa, okay, and you're still with Tita Inday on the new J 103.3, your positive choice. We have our number here that you can, which to which you can send your requests and your tawag pa, panawagan, no, of course. If you want me to greet your friends on air, and that's 09150540 187. And I'd like to say hi to all my friends who are tuning in to the new J over at our Facebook Live. I'd like to say hi to Avenue Jill Mayong Hapon, no, from yes, hi. And also to Miss Melody Joy Dagta of Davao City. Ashley May Bartolo, maayong hapon. Okay? And I'd also like to say hi to Ernie Ecol, Jojo lang ni siya, kay gwapa kanina kong amiga nga police. John Bells and Felix Alepo Tobiocap Cad. Sorry ha, Tobiocap ba na siya. And Kuya Pet Pet Baliares, and they're now watching us or listening to us via FB Live, and they are in Canada. Hellboy Alabado, mayong hapon. And of course, Cyril Galindes Makiling. Mayong hapon to everyone, and welcome to our Sunday radio show. I have been talking about Ibagsak ang Kabitalismo. I would like, again, this disclaimer no, that we are not condemning anybody here. We are not here to judge because that is not what our Lord Jesus Christ told us or commanded us. We are commanded to love Him with all our heart, soul, and mind and strength, and we are to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. But I would like to encourage all of us today why there are reasons, powerful reasons. That's from an article which I have read online. Powerful reasons why we should not or we should reconsider our involvement with a man who already has a wife. No, we will always fit into his schedule. Okay. Hi, Tring Tring, we miss you, and we will always fit into his schedule. That would mean that he has to get off the phone when her wife is about to come home. So when you are having a very great time, chika-chikahin together, kumabot na iyang wife, iyan na ginamputlon. Or if one of his kids catches him, iyan ginamputlon. So that means you will always fit into his schedule. Mura lang Mondays, instead of saying from 1 o'clock in the morning down until 12 o'clock in the morning the following day, ikaw, butan sa ka na mga 7:30 to 7:32. Now, hi, hello lang, no? And no, so he only has 5 minutes on his pagpa-drive niya paingon sa iyang opisina. That's the only time that he can talk or meet with you for a quick lunch or ano ba. Diyan sa imong lugar, you cannot always go out with him any time of the day. And that is enough for us to remember that if we are involved in a relationship with a man who already has a wife or who already has a family, you will always be, or we will always just fit into his schedule. And again, that is not what our hearts desire. Dili man na siya gusto nato mga girls, di ba? Because I would like once again to quote Stacey Eldridge, we want to be romance. Kanang I know you know the feeling to be of being romance when you want to be not necessarily receiving gifts, not necessarily spending time or being spent time with, but you know that even if naa ka sa imong opisina and the man of your life is in his office, you know that you are the one nga iyang ginahuna, di ba? So just sa break time niya, he would want to text you or to just simply give you a quick call. And that is being romance. That's what makes us beautiful. Isa, no? According to the book Captivating, it says a woman becomes beautiful when she knows she's loved. Mo pita na atong ginaingon na nga. Blooming kay si Kuan Bay, si Tita Inday. Ngano ka na kay nahigog man. Blooming kaayo because a woman becomes beautiful when she knows she's loved, no? We've seen this too many times, no? And when we are cut off from love, kita mo babae when we are kaning When somebody chooses another over us, no? When we are cut off from love, when we are rejected, no? When no one is pursuing us, something in a woman wilts or nagkakalaya like a flower no one waters anymore. And that is not what makes our hearts alive. That is not what makes our hearts really thrive, because our hearts have been designed to be pursued. And that, my friend, that, my sister, is what Christ has done in each to each one of us. No? He has been pursuing us since time immemorial. Wala pa tagi pakatao. He has been pursuing us. Diba? One of my favorite verses is Psalm 139, and it says there, Psalm 139, it says there, "You're fearfully and wonderfully made." Imagine that, good na, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. That only means what? That only means what? He has spent time to create you, the bumps or the texture of your skin, the shape nimo, ang imong kakulot sa imong buhok, wavy hair, the color of your eyes, the slit of your eyelids, no, the shape of your nose. The Lord has spent time in forming you, in creating you, in making you. So that means that He really is excited to meet you. No, kung pagkataon nimo, and that is being pursued. And when we ladies are being cut off from love, gakaluyata, gaka, murag tagtanong nga wa na mabubuhi. Diba? We wither into resignation, ay dili na ko. No, dahil kayo magpa-cut hair or mga resign sa work. And that is, I believe, is not something na mayon tag ala ay kapaka-OA lang. That is a very normal response. That is very normal response for us ladies, because for example, ang tanom di ay be, kung di mo babuan malaya no girl, yung ka ang tanom kay pagka OA nimo oy. No, that's the normal response of a plant na wala siya gi bubuan, malaya gyud siya. And the same with us ladies. So, but papasabot nga way manglitaw sa ato laya na dayta. Kung but papasabot na kung wala nang hatag sa tug boak, malaya na dayon ta. Does that mean when nobody is winking na tabangan, malaya na dayon ta? Does that mean when nobody spends a special holiday or texts us or sends us messages or manuktok sa atong gate, malaya na dayon ta? Let's check that out if that is really something that we have to reconsider. Mao pa gyud na ang atong pinaka-desire sa atong heart. Labi ko lang mo tao sa imo. And I have a lot of people sa akong life na nailan ako nga wala sila boyfriend or wala sila girlfriend until today. And they have been amazing influence sa akong life and to other single people, because they know in their hearts of hearts that the one who pursues them or romances them is somebody nga dili mag-fail, somebody who keeps an eye, no? Gives them a gaze of love. Gaze of love. Think like ko. All right. All right. So before we continue, here's Nicole Mulen. Everyday people, only here on 103.3 The New J, your positive choice. Train. Yes, a married man is no good. Value yourself more. That is right. That is so true. We don't want to have second love. We don't want to have second love. That's right. And another reason here, akong i-share gana, is if he cheated with you, he'll cheat on you. This is one of the scariest reasons why we should never get engaged or involved with a man who already has a wife. Anong ga microphone ko? Aray ko. All right. So if the reason is he cheated because there was lack of, okay, disclaimer again, I am not, this is not isa magkuan sa ko ako sa Google. Okay, this is not a okay. How do you pronounce it? Tirade. Oh, a tirade. Tirada, no? Tirade. Yes, hi Wawit Mediana. This is not a tirade. Tirad lagi na ako pagbasa sa una ay tirade. Dili ni siya isa ka angry or speech of criticism or accusation to men, no? I have nothing to do with you. That's your responsibility. I am here to encourage and to show love sa ato mga sisters who are involved in those relationships, no? So, it says here, This is an article from acinglife.com. It says here one of the reasons or one of the powerful reasons why you should never be a mistress is you want sex, you want love. That is another, yes, that is another area physically nga i-consider na to. We give, asa ko na ako nabasa? Women give sex to get love. Men give love to get sex. So comment if that's true or not. Women give sex to get love. Men give love to get sex. So if you think that's not right for married men, you can also drop your comments. For single men, you can also drop your comments. You can always debate. No. Okay. You can't develop true intimacy with someone who is living a lie. Why? Because he's living a lie nga he is making himself available para sa imo when in fact he should not be doing that because he already has a wife. You are just an extra tire. Excess tire lang yun kaniya. Ano? And are you that? You are more precious than gold. You are not somebody nga dili ka banig. Ibuklad lang ko kapoy ng tao. Banig. Naku may banig ka ng panahon na. So, okay. Bantay ta kay Basig. This is one of my favorite songs. It's from Mandisa Overcomer. And it simply talks about how it talks about how one can overcome obstacles, of course. No, you are an overcomer, and that being an overcomer doesn't come from us as if we are strong or if we are wealthy or if we have all the resources in the world. Being an overcomer comes from the fact that um, we are being held in God's hand. What is nice overcomer ta because si God nagawid sa ato. Diba? So you might be down for a moment, you feel like it's hopeless, but then God reminds us that you're an overcomer because it is His strong hand that is holding you. Hi, Maricar of Fresca Foods. Mayong hapon. Alright. Okay. Asa na to? Hi, Ads of Davao. Mayong hapon. And to your beautiful wife, Katrina, no? Yes, Katrina. So, okay, another reason here is that you can't develop true intimacy with someone who is living a lie. I know we think that we love the man, and also we think that the man loves us in return. Maybe, no, you do love each. Ito, dahil nga topic pa napahama ko. Napapanaw ko at tungong sa salida. Etiquette for. But in the end, no, in the end, they all realize that that is not what they deserve. That is not what now if we say we deserve some, I deserve this, I deserve that, I deserve it, I would say no, personally that's a lie because if you think nga oh I deserve this and then you're expecting people to treat you the way you want to be treated because you think that you deserve this one, murag mali siya because if you think that you really deserve something better, you will work on it. Ikaw mismo mag-value sa imong self. So say, I deserve a relationship that will value me. I deserve a love, somebody who will pursue me. Then you should get out from a relationship that does not value you. A relationship that sees you as a second-hand love or an extra or a spare tire. Perhaps. Hmm. Yes. So self-respect is one thing that we should always put in our mind, or bear in mind. Self-respect. Okay. We all look for romance. Long for romance. Maging ni Stacey Eldridge. So if you are, there's this passage in the Bible that's really amazing. It's in Jeremiah 31:3. And it's God speaking. I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have loved you with an everlasting love. There's this spoken word that I have seen or heard over sa YouTube, and he says, "You don't have to remember our anniversary because I will love you for eternity." Ah, ay, kalig ko. Ay. Yeah. You don't have to remember the date for our anniversary because I will love you for eternity. And that's how God has loved us. He loved us with an everlasting love. And if you look at it, no, if you are very sensitive, or if you're just being very attentive, you can see that God longs to bring tawag ani, this beautiful, this romantic, diba? This romance into your life, no? He has been longing, he has been wooing you. No, ginaligawan na jud ka ni God dugay. Kita dugan ni ginaligawan ni Lord, no? And as I've mentioned a while ago, ever since we were little, napagita sa tiyan, giligawan na talig ni God, no? You have been fearfully and wonderfully made. He has prepared you into a life that's full of love, a life that is that overcomes obstacles because He is there. He has a hand, a strong hand that's willing to hold you, and of course, heartaches. Hey, normal ka man ang heartache. Uy, mura man sa tagili normal na tan. Yes, heartaches will always visit us, especially if we have made decisions nga dili in line with the Lord, or if those people around us make decisions nga wala gatanaw sa ilang effects ato. But those heartaches, of course, will strengthen us. And my prayer is that those heartaches will always bring us to God, will always enable us to think nga, yes, na may ga-pursue sa ako even before I was a little girl, no? Before I was a baby, or napako inside sa womb. God has written the romance not only on our hearts, but all over the world around us. What we need is for Him to open our eyes, to open our ears, that we might recognize His voice calling to us, see His hand wooing us in the beauty that quickens our hearts. Kana no? Beauty that quickens our hearts. What is that beauty that quickens our hearts? Simply, if we look at the sunset, or if we look at the sunrise, or kanang, I am fond of staying awake until wee hours in the morning, or staying up until the wee hours in the morning. And kanang makita na ko ang bulan nga clear kayo ang sky sa kadlawon. It's something that quickens my heart, and I believe that is one way of how the Lord romances me, because narangi ko mga moonbeam. Okay, again, God has written the romance not only on our hearts, because we long for romance, no? To be romanced. That's why galong tana. It's because God has placed that in our hearts, and He also wrote romance all over the world. He has written romance all over the world. The nature, the people that we meet. The Hi Grace Evangelista. Hi Gracie. Baguio. So God has placed or written romance in our hearts and over the world. We can see it in the relationships that we had. Amazing people who bring flavor to our lives. People who nurture us. I know these people may not necessarily be the man sa atong kinabuhi. They can be friends. They can be our parents, our siblings, or simply our workmates. Our workmates who are so attentive sa atong pagkatao, no? Sa atong presence, and they value us, and that is enough for us to be reminded that, yay, this is how the Lord romances us. This is the Lord, how the Lord enables us to feel His love through His creation, living and non-living. And that will, I hope that that will also make us realize that second-hand love, or being a spare tire in a relationship, na dili para sa imo, it's not for you, it's enough for us to step aside, or to remove ourselves, from that relationship. Okay, sabi na ko. So this is Fe- Fence Riders, Jimmy Needham. All right, let me check this. Double on my goodie. So how about you girls? How about you ladies? What were the things that romanced your heart as a girl? What were those things that made yourself or made your heart alive when you were a girl? Was it Papa who would look at you as the most beautiful girl in the room? Was it your kuya or your cousin who who was gentleman enough to bring you to school every day, no? Or sunduan ka sa school every afternoon, or just before lunch? Is it a friend, no? A barkada ba kanimo, or a churchmate, or a workmate? Little girl gali, nag-workmate na dayon, no? That romance her heart as a girl. I know that there are so many, but we just fail to look at these things because we have our eyes glued on someone nga tanaw nato pwede mato pero dili gyud na siya mato girls. Girl, dili gyud na siya mato girls, especially if naan siya wife, especially if naan siya wife, na siya mga kids. That's why nakaka-stress lang o pagiging mistress because that's not our design, no? Bottom line is nakaka-stress pag magiging ikay isang mistress because that's not how God designed us to be a spare tire. God has designed us to be in a relationship that makes us feel valued, significant, and that's why yun ang book ni Stacey Eldridge that when a woman is loved, no, a woman is beautiful or becomes beautiful when she knows she's loved. And as our design to be beautiful and to make things beautiful and to contribute beauty to the world, paano na to mahimo na ang atong role if we are in a relationship that devalues us, that sees us as a secret, no? Naligi ka no kay sing-sing and nindot kayo pero ginatago nimo sa box. You don't wear it or you don't experience wearing it and admiring it on your finger. Mahilig pa naman ta mga girls. Ano. So, how do we contribute beauty to the world? How do we show beauty, our beauty to the world if we are involved in something that does not make us beautiful, if you're involved in something that wilts us, kalaya ta, because we are considered only a secret, a second hand, a go-to lady because the man already has a wife. Di ba maka-stress? Kung saan pa niyo makaplas of vitamin E sa imong face, so kung saan pa niyo makaplas of VCO sa imong face, magsag yun na imong now. Maybe for a time, you will enjoy the perks of being the kabit or the paramour because maybe he will shower you with all the things that you need just to get your attention, no? To get your love, to get sex from you, but then again, it will not last because maybe yung biyaan yung wife, posible, no? Posible. But that would be very scary because you have the man to you for yourself, but then you have damaged the life of the wife and especially connect kids, and it will echo sa mga generations to come. Hi, Christian, Dave, Camille, Desiree. Mayong hapon. All right. Ate Cha. Mayong hapon, Ate Cha. Spills ako. A woman becomes beautiful when she knows she's loved. Muna gingon nila nga pang babae na nahigugma or gihigugma mo bloom yun. Blooming ka karon kay higugma ka. Now that is exactly the design of God. The design, our design as women. We have been designed by the Lord to contribute beauty to the world, to show what is inside us. Of course, we always want to look beautiful on the outside, but inside us, women, ang atong beauty is to invite people to be part of our lives, to give healing, no, kanang in terms of emotional uplifting, in terms of kaning nurturing, no, naatay bisa dili pa ka mama wala pa kay anak, but the Lord has given us this gift of motherhood where we can mother people. Dili kinahanglan nga magbuntis gyud ka, but because you're a woman, you are tawag ani mura siyang basket or bed of soft mattress, no? Fluffy fluffy pillow. So people can come to you and really experience warmth and experience kaning love and care. And that is actually the design. That is how we can contribute our beauty to the world. But if a woman is cut off from love, kaning i-reject ta, i-devalue ta, no? Mura tag bulak nga malaya. Sama sa bulak malaya na ta. And what makes us wilt, unsay makapalaya sa ato mga babae, is when we put ourselves in situations na dili para sa ato, no? Dili para sa ato. Or when we take up roles in life that's not supposed to be our role. And when we kana magsakuban ta ba, mag-hide ta behind roles or behind tawag ani, life's conditions that we think would separate us from others just so we could protect ourselves. That also makes us wilt. Several times I myself is guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. I have also friends who have built walls around them just so they could protect themselves from hurts or from people who devour, no? Mapasakit sa ilang kasing-kasing. But that doesn't make us beautiful. If we try to be vulnerable, if we try to be tawagan if we tawagan kaning vulnerable, open ourselves, even if there is pain, if we embrace pain and see pain as something nga makapa all the more open up sa atong kasing-kasing because there are always people na na po sila experience sa pain mo, nang cause sila of pain sa ato. And that is enough for us to be accommodating and to be nurturing people sa atong life. And we will not be that kind of woman if naata sa isa ka relasyon nga ga-devalue sa ato. Gabutang sa ato as spare tire. Gabutang sa ato as extra ka lang. No? If you are in a relationship right now with a man who has a wife, who is married, I would like to encourage you to think about that. Siguro you are enjoying the perks of being the kapit or being the paramour or the second woman. You will never be the priority. And if nag-cheat siya sa iyang wife para mag-uban mo, of course, he will always cheat on you. And you can't develop true intimacy with someone na nagpamakak. Intimacy involves honesty. Intimacy involves kanang being vulnerable, no? Openness siya. Pero kung hindi siya open, how can you develop an intimate relationship or intimacy with that person? Ikaw mismo, you're not being truthful, you're not being honest, you're living in a lie and you're pretending that you have someone special when actually you are not. No, so face it, wala kay uyab kanay mo ang giuban karon, dili mo siya uyab, you have nothing because the man whom you are with nga naay asawa, dili nimo na siya imo, dili nimo siya imo. I would like to be reminded that there's in Solomon, I think in Solomon, I would like to there's there is a verse in the book of Solomon, Songs of Solomon, that where God has calls us darling, calls us darling. No? Gapakita lang nga kana nga term of endearment sa ato mga babae makes us feel or realize na lahi ang treatment ni God sa ato as lovers, no? As a woman na iyang gilove. Of course, it also goes for the men, no? God has called us darling. And what does that mean? No? We it's yeah, Solomon 1:15, it says, "How beautiful you are, my darling." That's the kind of God. That's the kind of relationship. That's the kind of commitment na naa si God sa ato. That's the kind of relationship that the Lord wants us women to experience. We are the apple of His eyes. No? The amazing love of God for us penetrates our hearts in a new and deep way if the moment we surrender our hearts to Him, the moment we turn our backs from relationships that do not only devalue and demean us, but also pains or hurts the Lord, because kanang you love somebody so much and then yung gipili is katong someone nga gikulata lang siya, o di ba? You love somebody so much, you treasure this person so much, but that person chooses to be with someone nga galuwa-luwaan lang siya or tunog-tunuban lang siya. And that itself is something that should remind us na we are doing that thing to our Lord if we involve ourselves with relationships na illegal na, immoral pa. Okay? It's in the eyes of God, in the eyes of man, and in your heart of hearts, you know that you will always be replaceable. You will always be replaceable. Kaya i-replace mo niya yung wife, ikaw na baka ha. So it says, another quote from the book Captivating, it says here, "Women who are stunningly beautiful are women who love truly and honestly without demanding that they be loved in return." So we have to be aware kung asa na gikan ang atong need to be in a relationship. Bahala na og extra lang ta. Bahala na og second hand lang ta. Basta kay na ay something na tawagon ako og my own, even though kabruta nga fake na siya. Ah, it's quite interesting to know does that need where does that need come from? More of that, and we will talk about that if you text us at 0915054087 and tell us about your comments, or drop your comments at the Facebook page. Pagkahuman, ani nga song. And this is from our Pure Energy. This is Pure Energy, one of my favorites. Here's Gary Valenciano, Sayawe ang Sayaw. Only here on the New J, your positive choice. Dedicated to all the shaggy. Hi, Rosaline. To Rosaline. Hi, Rosaline. Hi, Cherise. Is that you? Okay. Hi to Raquel Barbak, akong sister-in-law sa Ingoog. Hana May, maayong hapon. All right, so more of these topics And I hope that you also comment on my YouTube channel. This has been Tita Inday, and this is just my first live broadcast via StreamYard on YouTube. Ciao.